All right, guys, this is January 1st, 2022.
2022. Max headroom.
Yeah, it's time to recap the events of 2021 as it relates to the cycling industry. Let's get on topic. Hey everybody, it's Thomas with Get Out Arizona, and you're watching another fabulous episode of Toolbox Topic. You laugh every time I do that. Exciting, stupendous,
Yeah.
most inquisitive,
That's
educational. Yeah. Episode of Toolbox Topic. I'm joined once again by my co-hosts, Brandon Van Lubing and Wyatt Spalding. How the hell are you guys?
Chilling.
Excellent. So we're here once again at the Trek Bicycle Store, West Phoenix in Goodyear, Arizona, where the cool kids hang out. And me. And today we're going to talk about 2021, going into 2022, some of our hopes, what we expect to see from the cycling industry, and maybe some predictions. And if you guys want to chime in down below, you're more than welcome to. I just ask that you keep those comments civil for the most part, if you can help yourselves. So Brandon, we'll start off with you. 2021, what do you think was one of the most anticipated innovations that we saw come to light?
For me, I was so happy to hear this year that we were going to have wireless Shimano.
Oh, you
Di2
stole mine.
and
Yeah,
ST.
yeah.
That was the biggest news for me for this year. I think we've already passed the release date, but they've been busy trying to make pedals and make
Right.
chains and cassettes, which we haven't seen for a while because of the boom in the industry.
Right.
But to me, that's the thing I'm most excited about, and perhaps we should have ended on that one, but I'm going to start with it.
Yeah, no, that's a good one though.
Wireless Di2, I am extremely excited about. That's going to be awesome.
And it's about time that SRAM had some healthy competition from an established company that if any company was going to drive innovation, it was going to be Shimano, without a doubt. So, and I'm very excited to see what that Durace and Ultegra group, how they perform under long-term duress as far as being used on the road bikes and some of the gravel bikes as well.
But they are late to the game. So I would think also 2021 was the year that SRAM with their wireless AXS really got a foothold on the market. They've been selling I don't know how many thousands of units, while Shimano still is trying to
get theirs to market.
Get theirs to market as well. So I think this year we've seen more AXS bikes and kits sold than ever. I'm not sure exactly when the wireless came out, but 2021 is the one.
I want to say it was
the year.
October is when Shimano made the announcement. So
SRAM's definitely ahead of the game though right now. Especially because they've got the XO, the XX1, but not only they've made GX,
and that was going to be my thing.
$600 MSRP for the kit. It's pretty reasonable, you know.
And in the Trek world, we've seen more AXS models come out this year.
Yes.
Well, I don't know how many the options are there. They actually have specific models, AXS models, that have come out. So definitely have a good foothold on that, but I think that'll Shimano.
And I've seen more AXS models and less Di2 models, where in the previous 2019 and 2020 model years, it seemed like you had an even split. You can get the identical bike with a SRAM AXS or Di2, and now it's just SRAM AXS. That's it. They almost like, we're not waiting around forever. So that says a lot of something as far as popularity and the reliability. Now, I will say this, I do have the GX on my rail, which will be given a long-term review on that. My long-term review on the Axis Reverb will be coming out here, shortly on that too. But yeah, so that was definitely a big one. Wyatt, what do you think for 2021? What was the biggest announcement for you as far as the industry goes?
Honestly, I was pretty unimpressed most this year. I think you know it's been a year of catching up. And it doesn't even seem like a whole lot of catching up's been done sometimes. Like a lot of the times just the ETAs seem really bad. That's just me being negative though, because I need a cassette.
I need a cassette. I'm still waiting for my freaking 52.
So, but you know, it's been a cool year. Like Brandon said, I really liked what SRAM's been doing with the Axis, bringing that price point down, kind of forcing other brands to go out there and make a competitor for that. Otherwise, though, there has been a lot of cool bikes that have come out this year. You know, the new Top Fuel looks really cool. I'd like to get my hands on one of those, at least from Trek.
Specialized really is, as speaking of new models, is really streamlined and revamped their not the wireless, their e-assist, their pedal assist bikes. What is it, the Levo series, isn't it?
Yeah. Yep, they got the lighter weight.
They've done really good jobs, and they have full from road to mountain bike and everything in between. So
I think in general though, this year was kind of more like true to what people need. Like the years before, I feel like we saw a lot of hype around like these weird kind of project bikes. Like you saw a lot of 650B plus stuff, like a lot of 29 plus stuff, which is cool. But it almost seemed like everyone was copying each other, trying to put out this new bike with this new feature. Whereas now you're seeing the tires get skinnier again. They're speccing stuff with 2.4s and 2.5s like it should, I feel like. And I don't know. It seems less like they're not trying to impress people as much with like random stuff.
And I don't think there's the money in R&D because times have been lean. So they've had to really cut back on maybe some of that hype and the innovation that
they're just
maybe
trying to get stuff to market.
They're just trying to get that meat and potato stuff to market to keep the doors open and everything. Which brings us to the next topic as far as 2021. We saw a lot of boutique builders, and I'll use Canyon and what is it, 49? I think they're called Bike 49 or something like that out of Colorado as well. Both of those companies did really well, enjoyed a great amount of success. They were able to produce and sell more bikes. Do you think that has directly related to the pandemic and people having to look to boutique builders? Other than, I would say your big three would be Trek, Specialized, and then like Cannondale or Giant Salsa, kind of in that third rung. But now these boutique builders, and we've seen them drive some innovation as well. Some of it, I mean, for the worst. No one really liked that double-decker bar from Canyon, unless you were the Global Biking Network, and then you fawned over it like it was a stripper of the month or something. Jesus.
I think that's a good point, though. I think like at least a lot of the people I follow and keep up with in like the ultra endurance stuff too. A lot of people are buying these like these custom frames and stuff from American frame builders, which is cool to see, just because they can't get stuff primarily. So I think
they've been forced to look outside of the big, the big top 3 or 5,
which is cool. Yeah, I've seen a lot of cool bikes out of it. So.
Drives innovation, so simulates the economy, and you have a lot of talented frame builders out there.
Seriously.
that people don't know about. That they don't know about. So it's good to see that stuff come to market. Now, earlier. And it was the end of 2020, not 2021. We kind of did this, and that episode actually never made it to air. We were still in pre-production phase for Toolbox Topic, but we talked a lot about safety technology and how over the recent years that's been propelled forward with the MEPS, with helmets, knee pads, elbow pads, just the build quality, the build material of bibs, shorts, all these different things. How do you think that has changed? Has it stagnated, do you think, in 2021? Or has it been pushed forward compared to what we saw in 2020? And going into 2022, do you think we're at a plateau and we're going to maybe towards the end we'll bump up in that category? Or do you think it's just still going to stay plateaued because there's other things they have to worry about?
I don't know if I saw a change in safety gear.
Me neither,
specifically for this year. There's one guy that came out this year, though, or one company that came out with a airbag backpack. So the backpack that came out in 2021.
Interesting.
Apparently, you don't have to wear a helmet, but once that thing figures you're going to take a dump, it'll release an airbag over your head. So that came out this year. That's one thing, but I don't know how far that's going to go.
I'm going to have to look for that article.
That's got to be in Europe somewhere, but I don't know. We'll see.
Again, what Global Biking Network Europe? It's a conspiracy, guys. No, I'm joking. I got to leave those guys alone.
But to get back to your question, I feel like the helmets haven't been innovative this year. Safety.
Sticking with what?
I think they've,
I think some of the, I don't know, it wasn't a new innovation, but we've seen it available on more helmets, more styles of helmets is the sensor, the shock sensor, similar to what I have in the Garmin. So if I wreck, that jar in the gyro inside will send that emergency signal. I've seen more lower price point helmets, more to the point, with that type of shock sensor in there. So that's good. Some of those innovations that we saw in 2020 that were almost out of the reach for most cyclists have now come down in price. So I'd say are more reasonable as far as that goes. And while you can't put a price tag on safety, it's nice to see companies ease back on that type of thing. As a company, as the R&D cost, but you really shouldn't be gouging people to stay protected,
for
properly.
sure.
So
And I think even at least I think all those new wave sail helmets came out
not too long
beginning
ago.
of this year, where you got the Starvos and the Rally wave sail and a few
Right,
other
yeah.
ones. So more price point options for wave sail, which is cool because at first it was so expensive. It was pretty expensive. if you wanted
150 to
get into there.
$250.
I mean, it's like when
depending on
airbags
helmet.
came out on cars.
Yeah.
Only the rich people could have the best protection. Now
Yeah.
it's trickling down to
Yeah.
Us commoners, us
yeah.
knucklejaggers.
Yep.
So, well, and kind of staying in that vein, and it's interesting to see where, like, Wyatt, you and I were riding with Kale the other day, and none of us were necessarily in cycling gear.
Oh no. Yeah.
But it's interesting to see how that part has changed. Towards the second half of the year, I've noticed more mountain biking shoes look more like skate shoes, like Vans, and some of them they've got the
style right now.
recessed in there for clipless, and some of them are just flat. But here's my thing: those shoes are still wildly expensive, and those shoes don't even last a year. Or I'm wearing a set of Obo's hiking shoes that are over a year old and still going damn strong. So it's interesting to see how in some areas of the industry, fashion trends have driven what people are wearing, but it hasn't done anything to improve the durability. What do you guys think about that? I mean, just your opinion. Have you noticed that at all?
It's always been a struggle because what do these manufacturers want to do? They want to build something that's lightweight. They want to build something that looks good. They want to build something
cool
that's
kid.
inexpensive.
Yeah.
So there's always going to be a
Inexpensive, dude. $150 for a pair of freaking mountain biking shoes
Right.
ain't inexpensive.
Right.
Yeah.
Or cleats for that matter for road bike and stuff like that. Now there's a difference though. I will say the cleats for road bikes tend to last longer anyways because they're not getting the same type of use and abuse as on the trail and everything.
Hiking with them,
but yeah,
on
I'm definitely
rocks.
talking more about the mountain biking stuff. And I've noticed that where certain pads, and I haven't tested any of them, so I'm going based on what I've read in the different mountain biking journals and magazines. They came out at the beginning, holy smokes. There we go. Usually moving around. Starting the year off right, guys. Where they're like, hey, we'll give, long-term review, mid to end of year. And now those long-term reviews have come out and I've read them. A lot of those pads, again, $100, $150 for a set of knee pads, but the material, sure, they protect the knee, but the material's ripping, stitching's coming loose, and we're talking after only several hundred miles of riding. To me, that isn't a good investment. So if it's one thing I would like to see the industry change, is that. For someone who rides all the time, I don't abuse my gear, but I definitely use it. I'll pay for it if it's going to last, okay? And not even a season that's not longevity. It should be able to last more than a season with proper care. So, all right. So what else? 2021. Anything that you've noticed? I know. We hit a spot where there wasn't anything, and then it looked like we were making a comeback, and then all of a sudden there was nothing again. How Wyatt, as a mechanic here and everything, and working at Trek, and Brendan is the owner here. What's your opinion on that, and how do you see that affecting 2022? Like, where's the bike industry at now? Especially the people who started getting into cycling and now maybe they're embittered because they can't get the gear they need, the parts they need. How do you see that ripple effect?
It's been another frustrating year. A lot of lost opportunities. A lot of people are willing to put down the money for some nice bikes.
Right.
Obi-Wan, for example.
Oh, yeah.
He came in looking for a nice bike.
Dude, he would have dropped that fat cash right then and there.
He would have dropped a nice amount of coin, and I have nothing to offer him for the next year and a half, unfortunately.
Which is crazy.
A lot of lost opportunities, which has been frustrating. It's still been good. We still sell what we get, but it's been a very busy year. Wyatt on this side of the wall has been, these guys crank all day long because everybody that can't get their bike are repairing their bikes.
Yeah.
So another headache is trying to get these bikes back on the road and trying to get the parts to get them back on the road. So it's been a struggle. It's been real.
Yeah. I've never seen more worn out chains and cassettes than this year. It's because people can't get them.
Yeah.
So
they're forced to ride on the old
ones.
ones.
Like, oh, my drivetrain's destroyed. It's skipping. It was like, well, you can't really get parts right now. You're kind of screwed here, Which you do what you can and have them try and source parts and all that stuff. But yeah, it's been rough for sure.
So Obi-Wan wants a bike fit, by the way.
All right. And I think it's going to be this way for maybe the next 2 years, the way we're looking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is, that's abysmal. That's kind of...
It's daunting to think about.
I need to rob a kidney today so I can get that freaking that Domani out there. Dude, I want that Domani. That fucker's, I'm telling you, dude. Just like the rail last Thanksgiving, that Domani, dude. But we digress. So now, in that same vein, though, not getting parts for the newer bikes, God, every time I come in, there's at least 1 or 2 customers that has a bike that's 10 plus years old.
Yep.
And they're wanting you to fix it. But again, you can't even get the parts to fix, because we've talked about that. Bikes are worse than cars, man. After so many years, and that's it. You can't get parts, and drivetrains change. And I was looking on Craigslist, and I found almost the perfect bike for my trainer, but it was a 7-speed cassette, and it was a Shimano drivetrain. It would have been fine, but the fact that, dude, and I knew right away, that's a 2009, 2010 model. As far as that goes, and that just won't work because my trainer's an 11-speed. So how do you guys combat or telling people, hey, we'd love to fix this bike for you, but it's so old.
It's bedside manner. You have to have a good bedside manner here to tell you, dude. It's
because I'm imagining people get angry
dying.
sometimes.
It's dead. It's
they do, but you just gotta give them the facts. Be like, hey, look, this is worn out. This is worn out. This is broken. This is what it costs. You're over $300 right now, and that's being reasonable. And then from there, once you throw numbers out,
and demand is so high for these parts. Like a 7 or 8 speed freewheel is now costing close to $70.
There was a $60
That's a
$14
part 2 years ago.
Wow.
And that's normal MSRP. I am not,
now, would you
we're
say,
not in the business of racking things up because of demand.
Right.
This is just, we have to charge what our normal, markup.
So
and it's outrageous.
Yeah. So, and we've seen this at the camera shop with film, where the one person we can get film from knows he's got everybody by the balls. So since summertime, dude, every month that film, and it increases, and our customers is something we know, and that's why we don't even press the film anymore, because who knows what it's going to ring out as. So have you seen your suppliers, would you say that's price gouging? I don't want to roll anybody by the bus, but if 2 years ago it was $14, it's the same part, it hasn't been chrome plated, gold dipped, nothing like that, and now it's $60. Dude, that's 500% increase.
I hope it's not. I hope literally it's just the cost of doing business now that's driving these parts up. I really hope that.
I hope that goes down, though, too, because it's going to become very difficult for the average consumer if you factor in car payment, house payment, or anything like that. They want a bike, they want to stay healthy and fit, but now it's almost out of their reach because of the cost and everything.
And us being the last person they see at the end of the food chain,
they're angry at you.
They're looking at us like, why is it like this? Because I'm like,
don't blame these guys.
Everybody, everything's going up in price. Everything. So
okay. So let's talk about racing really quick, and then we'll move on to 2022. We'll close this one out. Now, what again, reading the journals and the magazine articles and everything for bike or road and mountain bike this year. We saw 2020, some races were turning to virtual races. This year, not so much. But there was some scandals, and there was some, hey, you're cheating, and hey, you're doing this, gosh, I mean, it's reminiscent of the whole Lance Armstrong scandal and everything, and now we're seeing it come up in mountain biking racing and cross country racing and everything like that. How have you seen it taint the industry overall, as far as maybe people coming in and because this is stuff that we see, and I used to always refer to cycling as one of the last bastions of sportsmanship. There was always that tradition with the Tour and the Giro d'Italia and stuff like that, the big epic 3 races. Now it doesn't seem like that anymore. No, it really seems like everybody's doing that, whatever they can to get that edge, and in some regards, even what I would consider cheating. I mean, you get out there and you ride, and it's you and your bike against everybody else, not what can you do to get the leg up on the competition in an unnatural way almost.
I personally have not heard any backlash at all from customers.
Well, that's good.
I think maybe our clientele has changed a little bit as well. They're not the ones that keep up with the professional tours and the professional riders. So, I personally have not heard.
Okay, well, no, that's good.
About that.
That's good. I'm still the nerd who keeps up with all that shit, but to me, it just kind of
hopes and dreams about the sport.
Yeah, no, and that's a good thing. Why? What about you? I know you would like the endurance and stuff like that. I mean, have you ever?
I don't pay attention to any of that stuff just because I don't like it personally. But I think in the last year, I've seen a huge growth in, one, just the ultra endurance community, and more so like the self-supported bikepacking community, and that's just blown up, mainly because I think this time of age with the pandemic and everything, it's hard to take responsibility for organizing something. So, you know, you either have to be a huge event organizer to get a race going, or it's going to be one of these more like grassroots style events now. You saw like a huge Tour Divide this last year. There was a ridiculous amount of riders. You saw
it was a record amount of riders, if I remember correctly.
AZT race. You saw that all over. All these bikepacking races were filled with people, which is really cool because they are grassroots style events. There's no one that's really operating the thing. It's more of like an agreement. Everyone's coming together to start at the same time, and then you go out and do your thing, and you spread out from there. And there's not that tone of seriousness to it where, you know, in professional road cycling or even what gravel cycling's turning into now, where it's
the mountain bike racing,
serious, and they're like, you know, are these guys doping? What are they doing? It's not like that in
which you never thought.
If you want.
Yeah, and as long as I've been riding and everything like that, I never thought that there'd be a time where that would be a concern for cycling. You know, same like with
especially
hockey,
at this level, especially at the amateur level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, but now it has, and it's almost come full circle, and it's kind of shitty. And I guess hockey would be the other one I'd be really disappointed. You've never heard of like a steroid scandal or anything like that in the NHL. Football, baseball, sure, not even in basketball. Basketball's got their own set of problems, but steroids wasn't one of them. So, all right. So as we close out 2022, hopes, dreams. What are you hoping to see? What do you anticipate? Predictions? What do we got, Brandon?
I'm just hoping we get some bikes in here and build them and sell them. Really, I mean, everything's going just fine. We're still a very successful shop, but I am quite frankly so sick of disappointing people.
Okay.
You know, that's the bottom line.
Okay.
They come in. I've been there. I've been ready to spend some money, and I know how it feels to be ready to go, and you can't get what you want. And I hate that. I hate showing people, telling people that I can't get them something.
Yeah.
So I'll be looking forward to seeing some inventory more readily available. That'd be great for me.
Okay.
Some nice bikes coming out from Trek this coming year too. We got some new speed. The new speed concept is coming out, which is
just read an article about that.
Which is going to be, that's as far as the bike lineup is concerned, probably the biggest change that we have come. It's about time they came out with something with disc brake and better integration and such. That's going to be a cool bike. That's going to be a popular bike.
It'll just be nice for the, setting it up with disc brakes, be a little bit easier.
Yep.
For sure.
So I think that'll be the big bike for Trek this coming year.
Okay.
The speed concept.
Wyatt, 2022, hopes, predictions, anything?
Definitely agree with Brandon. Just being here, want to stop disappointing people for reasons that I can't control. You know, that'd be cool. Otherwise, though, it'd be just cool to see the adventure cycling community keep growing. It seems like it's
which I'm getting ready to become an official part of, and I'm excited about that, dude. It's going to be an epic year, 2022.
This last year, it seemed like it was getting more and more popular, and I just hope it keeps going in that direction, and you see more events popping up because, in the States here, we got a lot of public land, so it's a perfect spot for it to explode.
Absolutely, and we're going to do an episode, and some good conversation with some cyclists, mountain bikers I saw on the trail, where so many new people have come into the sport, road and mountain, and at some point, the tree is going to shake, and the ones that have really taken root are going to stay on it, and then see the other ones kind of slough off. But how do you deal with the ones that are just kind of the tourists, as I always refer to? I still think you should treat them with respect and everything, and try to teach them so they do become an avid cyclist. But it's a discussion for another day. For me, for 2022, the Domani, obviously, that's my big hope. But yes, I would love to see the industry rebound from the shackles that have been slapped upon it with supply issues and supply chain and everything. I'd like to see some of the pricing go back to normal for the average person. The blue class, or blue collar middle class person can enjoy that, not only for themselves, but something they can share with their family and everything and get out and do together. I'd also like to see Mr. Finger come back from vacation now. I don't know if you guys saw the Christmas episode. I'll link it up top in a card, but him and Brandon touched, and then he packed his bags. He said he was going on vacation.
Something happened.
I haven't heard from him. Maybe we'll get a postcard from him Next episode,
Maybe
we'll
B's
see.
up to something. Maybe there's a little contract killing going on here.
We'll figure it out. So, all right, guys, but seriously. All right, well, there you have it. As far as 2021 recap, some of the stuff that we took notice of and some of the stuff that we thought was important for the industry. Some predictions for 2022 as far as what we hope are going to be the case. I hope Brandon's doesn't come true as far as it being shitty for the next 2 years, but you never know. I mean, it's one of those deals. We'll just have to wait and see and take it with a grain of salt if it does. Yeah. So if you have any questions about what you've seen on the episode today, if there's something that you think that we've missed, comment down below. Right? I need to get these guys a new version of that. The version 2 is out. Hey! Easy there, Tex. He's drunk from the last episode. Comment down below. Just try to keep it civil if you can, please. There's going to be a link for Trek Bicycle Store of West Phoenix. You can follow that link if you have any questions of the guys about any of the toolbox topics that you've seen, like showcases, anything like that. Go ahead and give them a call. I'll be more than happy to help. There's also going to be a link for Copper State Bike and Hike, which is Trek's demo store. So if you're looking to rent a bike, a road bike, mountain bike, touring bike, or anything like that, give them a call, set that reservation up. They also have carriers for you, so you don't need to worry about that aspect of it. There's also going to be links to our social media. That's going to be Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. So if you want to keep up on the day-to-day affairs for Get Out Arizona, go ahead and follow us on social media as well. We ask that you also hit the like, the subscribe, and the bell notification icon, because that's going to help out this video immensely, and it's nice to be supported that way and get up in the algorithm. We'd like to. Our goal is to get that 1,000 viewer mark or subscribe mark this year and everything coming into 2022, and really bring you some amazing content. The links down below, some of them are affiliate links. If you click one of those links and you make a qualifying purchase, we will receive a small commission, but you will not be charged anything additionally. I got to make that disclaimer because if I don't, YouTube will get mad and slap my hand. So
slap your finger.
Yeah, slap my finger.
He's back.
It's the ghost. Hope we don't get sued by South Park either. So, on that note, guys, what do we always say? Be kind to yourself and others. Be amazing stewards on that trail. And we have to ask, oh my gosh, 2022 is here. Guys, what are you waiting for?
Get out Arizona.
Oh, yeah, I like that. There is no Dana, only Zool. All right, guys, get out Arizona, and we will see you on that next adventure. Take care, guys. Brandon,
Happy
thank you
trails.
so much. Yeah, Wyatt, thanks.
Of course.
Take care, guys.